We told you we would take you back live to downtown Atlanta as police started. Here, let's listen in an update on that deadly shooting at Atlantic Station.
Homicide involving two kids who were in the Midtown space. And again, a senseless death involving a handgun. First, I'd like to offer my condolences to the family. Coming after Thanksgiving and headed to Christmas, the last thing that they should be prepared for is a funeral of their children. And then we're also here to announce an increase in the Crime Stopper Award of $10,000. The next person you'll hear from is the lead detective, Investigator Shepard. He'll go through a video and some still photos where we're asking for the public's assistance in helping us solving now this double homicide.
I'm Detective Shepard, the Atlanta Homicide Unit. I am the lead detective on the case. I've been working the case since day one, the night of the incident. From my investigation, I was able to determine two primary suspects, two shooters. And these persons that I'm going to point out in this video is a person that's responsible for the entire shooting. So if you pay attention to the video, this is Mr. Zyion, the child that's deceased, that's 12 years old. The top left hand with the black and yellow jacket, that's my main shooter. This is right before the shooting incident on 17th Street. The second clip, the black male wearing the blue hoodie with the white letters on the front, he's the second suspect in this incident. These are the same group coming into the MARTA station. That's the Art Center MARTA station. This is right after the shooting. Again, you see the primary suspect. They're getting ready to board the train. They ride the train from different various locations throughout the city.
So again, this is immediately after the shooting.
What I was able to determine through my investigation, Zyion was killed from this person's bullet. This person is also a part of Zyion's group. There was not a back and forth shootout between the second male who's now deceased. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So we have a group that was in the area, this group here. We have Cameron, who just died yesterday, riding by in the scooter. The gentleman you see here in this video pulled out a handgun, shot multiple shots, directing it at Cameron. Zyion took a bullet, indirect shot meant for Cameron. So did the other victims out there. All bullets were directed at Cameron. Everybody else was collateral damage from his shooting directed at Cameron. Again, that's my suspect, the bottom right-hand corner. This is the group he's with. During the train ride, they antagonized different customers. They flashed their waistband as gesturing like they're going to put a weapon out. They flashed gang signs. They antagonized another group at a gas station. And they also seem to be celebrating, making gestures and talking about the shooting.
So we're just asking your viewers to call Crime Stoppers where they can remain anonymous. Any information will be helpful in this investigation. We're asking individuals that were driving on the 17th Street Bridge, if they have video, they know anything, to call Crime Stoppers, again, where they can remain anonymous. We're just asking for the public support. As always, this is definitely how we solve crimes, is with the aid of the public. We'll ask for a couple of questions. But again, just realize that it is a still very active investigation. And the focus is on the information we're releasing today.
Detective, just to clarify, did you say that there was only one shooter, or there were multiple shooters?
There was multiple shooters.
Do you know how many exactly? Is it 2?
At least 3.
At least 3 shooters.
Yes.
At least 3 shooters. Detective, can you just clarify a couple of things? So, at this point in the video, when they're getting onto Marta, do they know that Zyion is dead? Did Zyion go with them, and do they realize that he's not going back?
So that's a great question. Zyion was with them, as you see on the video, before they got to the place where the shooting occurred.
Right.
He's not with them anymore. I'm not sure if they knew that he's dead at that point, but they definitely knew that people was hurt and people were shot. You can hear them talking on the trains. You can hear them talking and celebrating, talking about the gunshots and things like that. So I can't confirm that they knew that he was dead at that moment.
And you said Cameron was on a scooter. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so right before the incident, you have 3 scooters that ride by this group of people that includes this young man riding. The third person was Cameron, somebody else's name. They say that's Cameron, that's our position. That's when shots rang out. The shots directed to Cameron. That's when you have all the other collateral people that were shot. All the bullets were meant for Cameron. Zyion took the bullet. He's deceased on the scene. Then we have the other victims that was also shot. Everything was directed to Cameron. The male in the black and the yellow hoodie, he is the main perpetrator, the main suspect that fired off most of the rounds that killed and hit most of the people in the.
But you're saying the one in the blue shirt with the white writing, he also shot, right?
He also shot.
And then there's a third shooter that's not in this video?
He's in the video, but I'm still trying to figure out which one he is.
And everyone was shooting at Cameron?
You're correct. Everything was directed at Cameron.
Do we know the ages of the shooters? Can we tell or anything like that?
No, I mean, he appears to be maybe the oldest in the group. You can definitely tell he's one of the leaders in the group. They all kind of mimic his movements. They follow him. They give him handshakes. So he seems to be the one that has the most persuasion in the group. The other ones look a little younger than him. So we have an age range, safe to say, 14 to mid-20s.
Are y'all considering this a gang-related shooting? And if so, can you elaborate on that?
At this time, it's still, as I said before, still early on. Everything is on the table to figure out what exactly led up to it and why Cameron was targeted. And so again, we're not ruling it out, but it is something that we are definitely looking into.
Was Cameron armed?
And again, this is still early on. We did recover 3 weapons on the scene. And again, we're still going through the ballistics and determine who were in possession of the weapons at the time.
Can you tell us where Zyion was shot and where Cameron was
At this time, again, that's part of the investigation. But again, I just want to stress, we're asking for identifications of any individuals you see in the video. As Detective Shepard indicated, we know that 2 individuals definitely were our shooters. We want to treat the other individuals currently right now as witnesses. But as we move forward in this investigation, if we don't receive cooperation from them, it's very possible that they also could be charged with some type of having some type of involvement with the death of these 2 kids. So again, even if they see themselves on the video, we're asking them to contact the homicide unit, ask to speak to Detective Shepard, so we can determine exactly what happened on that evening.
How many people have you spoken to?
Do you have any reaction to some of the comments that Zyion Charles' mother made this week in regards to when she said that she was reaching out to APD and that you guys were in communication with Zyion himself before this shooting? Any response to anything she had to say?
At this time, again, we are responsible of solving the death of these 2 kids. That's what our focus is. Is a tragic incident that happened in our city, and that's where our focus is on today.
Question.
Were any officers present in the middle of that group?
I'm sorry?
When the shooting occurred?
Say again?
Were any officers, APD officers, off-duty officers, Atlantic Section Security present when the gunfire went off, and what happened from there?
I think there is a video that we know that there were off-duty officers working in along the 17th Street Bridge, so we know that there was a very prompt response of an officer responding very quickly as shots were ringing out. So we know that we had off-duty officers in the area.
Have y'all been able to identify any of these people or talk to them?
Identify who?
Any of the witnesses, anybody who's present.
Again, individuals you see on the video, we have not been able to identify them, and so this is why we are here, and we're asking your viewers to assist us in identification.
Zach, then Eric.
The shooting, is there any indication that this group, along with Zyion, saw Cameron any time before the shooting happened, or they saw him on the scooter at the time of the shooting? That was the first time they'd seen him.
Yeah, okay. So no, it appears that it was immediate and random. Cameron seemed to be and his two friends riding through the area en route to Atlanta Station to enjoy the festivities. That's when this shooter in a hoodie sweatshirt, yellow and black, took it upon himself, fired those rounds at Cameron.
Eric, last question.
We have a 12-year-old dad. We have a 15-year-old dad. Just someone who lives in Atlanta, your message to the community when investigating something like this, and it looks like just young kids involved in this as well. What goes through your mind in the past couple of days? How have you guys handled all of this?
I mean, again, as I said before, it's tragic. Being a father myself, having young teenage daughters, it's difficult to investigate a death of a child. My heart goes out to the mothers of these two, their sons. I can't imagine what they're currently going through. As I stated earlier, they should be preparing for Christmas, the holidays. But now they have to spend their time on making arrangements to bury their sons. And so, again, my heart goes out. But I assure them that we are working hard, as Detective Shepard said. He hasn't stopped working, and he's following every leads that come out. But we're at the point now today where with this video, we believe that with the cooperation of the public, people call in and let us know who these individuals are that they see in this video, that we will be in a better position of being able to bring this case to a successful closure for the family.
Do you know the condition
Thank
of the
you.
other four
Detective, can you
victims?
just say and spell your name, please? Sorry.
Yes, Detective Zyion Shepard.
I'm sorry, what?
Zyion Shepard, J-A-R-I-O-N.
We've been listening to Detective Jerry Shepard, Atlanta Homicide, and also Deputy Chief Charles Hampton, who've been really updating us on the latest on this investigation into that deadly shooting at Atlantic Station. We just learned today one other of those children who was shot has died. Very interesting the way they've taken apart the video, very distinctive clothing that was being worn, and they directed us to information that, you know, the person who was killed first, Zyion Charles, was not the intended target, but a child, Cameron, who died today, it appears, was the intended target. So they are asking for your help if you know anything.
Truly stunning to get some of the details that we just heard live along with you from the Atlanta Police Department and the detective who was speaking about this. By the way, with that new video, we will turn around those images, get the highest quality we can, and put it out there on social media and here on Channel 2 Action News at 4, 5, and 6, so you can see them very closely. But again, a person who they describe as the shooter with a very distinctive yellow and black hoodie, half of it's yellow, half of it's black, and someone wearing a blue hoodie with white lettering on the front. And apparently they headed to the Arts Station MARTA station and were actually on a MARTA train and appear to be celebrating because they believe that they had shot their intended target, who we now know was a 15-year-old on his scooter. Again, you heard it from police. This is a time when families should be celebrating, getting ready for the holidays. Instead, 2 families now are planning for funerals. We will have a lot more on this, on the outcome, on what's next on Channel 2 Action News starting at 4 o'clock throughout the afternoon.
And we will keep you posted on any new developments. They ask that you call Crime Stoppers if you were on that bridge and have any video that could perhaps help them.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tiffany Smith, the mother of Cameron Jackson, and she will be making a statement today. We ask that you honor and respect that she will not be taking any questions at this time. Tiffany?
Hello. I wanted to first just kind of create like who Cameron was. Never in a million years would I have ever thought that I would be burying my son And with all of the media and everything, it's been really hard. I know someone asked, like, where is his dad? His dad is just unable to even be here because of the heartbreak that he's dealing with right now. Just to kind of share with you, like, who Cameron was. Cameron loved his family. I homeschooled Cameron so that I could make sure that Cameron was, you know, the best student that he could be. And I have his coach here with me. Cameron has been boxing since he was 9. And we would take him to boxing like every day. Cameron practiced 6 days a week. That's how driven he was with boxing. He loved animals, and I'm from Atlanta. I've been here all my life, and you know, you see all of the violence on TV, but you never think that one day you would be waking up and it would be your child. And I've just been sitting back listening to all of the news reports and everything, and I wanted to speak because this is not about Cameron. This is not about that other little kid. This is about all of our children. And I really want to, you know, I have a plan. I have a solution for what's going on with our children. I'm not ready to reveal it right now. But what I'm really committed to is that our children have a safe place. And, you know, listening to the other mother speak about not having the resources. You know, in my situation, we had all the resources. But the one thing that we were unable to deal with was the community, the environment, the city. And that right there is something that I'm committed to transforming in Atlanta. And so I wanted to bring his coach to really share a little bit about Cameron's drive and who he was. What's your name first?
My name is Zyion Rahim. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, how do you spell it for us?
My name is Zahir, Z-A-H-I-R. My last name is Rahim, R-A-H-E-E-M. I'm Cameron's coach. We called him Lil Fuji. He was very disciplined. He had a very hard drive, man. He was very gentle. I never heard him say a curse word. He was very respectful, loving. I've had adults come into my gym and have emotional problems or issues, and I watch Cameron go to him and offer assistance to him. We had dreams and goals of going to the Olympics 2024 in Paris. I went in '96 here in Atlanta, and he reminded me of me when I was younger. And I seen a lot of me and him fighting. It's like they took my dream. I went professional, and he was the one that I knew that I could vicariously live through again and really make it. We talked about his dreams, his goals, his passions, and the things he loved. He loved animals. He loved to cook. He loved projects. And he was always happy. He was always the happiest kid. And I know that as a collective, we as adults need to find a solution to unnecessary gun violence. Because these kids don't get these guns themselves. They're not getting them themselves. And as adults, I think we got to come together collectively to find a solution to stop it. Forever, forever. I witnessed this when I was a child, out of Philadelphia in the inner cities. And that's what made me leave home when I was a young child. That's what brought me here. I left home at 13 because I witnessed someone die in front of my face. And I couldn't take it no more. I didn't want to live it no more. So this is just a flashback for me. And I wish and pray that everybody could find peace in the situation and we could change the lives of these children forever, because this is our future we're talking about. And this is really unnecessary. Thank you.
And so, So really, like, I don't know where we go from here. Like, Cameron was my whole world. And so now I got to figure out what's next. That was my baby boy. But what I do know is I'm not gonna allow his death to be in vain. And what I do know is I don't want another mother to have to stand and go through this process. And so, yeah. Robin, did you want to?
My name is Robin Bryant. I'm a dear friend to Tiffany, and we are both mothers. And I need, or would like for everyone to understand what that word is. Mother, mom. That's what we all are. We're losing our children, and it's time to take action. And we're ready. We thank everyone for their thoughts, prayers, condolences. They help us get through the day. But at the end of that day, we also need action. And I thank you.
Spell Robin first, please.
R-O-B-I-N.
Brian.
B-R-Y-A-N-T.
Thank you.
So that's it. Did you want to? Okay, that's it.
Can I say something? I know you don't want to take any questions, and we certainly respect that. But I just want to be totally transparent that in our stories, the police are saying that Cameron may have been the target that night. He may have had some gang affiliation. I know from talking to some family members that you all say he doesn't. Can you just speak to that so that you have your say when we have to report that part?
Right. Well, we don't have any of that information, and we're working with the police. Tiffany is in contact with some of the investigators. It's an ongoing investigation, so we'll wait and let the facts speak for themselves. But right now, there's only speculation about things like that. They've shared, what it is about their family. So anything else that people are saying, they're not facts, and we'll let the facts speak for themselves. And we ask that if anyone does have factual information about this incident, they come forward, they give names, and they give information so we can get justice for Cameron and the other children affected by this situation.
Are you the family attorney?
Yes.
What's your name?
Aston Hall. A-S-T-E-N Hall, H-A-L-L.
Just for clarity's sake, there's been some confusion on the spelling of Cameron's name. Is it with a K or?
It's a C. It's C-A-M-E-R-O-N, Cameron.
And please spell Tiffany for us.
T-I-F-F-A-N-Y.
Jackson.
Smith.
May I say something about Target? I want to make it clear that no child is exempt. Today, yesterday, it may be Cameron. All of your children are targets. It's gun violence.
Yeah, well, we do know right now, what you all know is that Cameron is a victim of this gun violence. He's a victim. He's a 15-year-old child who was murdered on the streets in Atlanta. That is facts that we all know. And again, we just want to know those who did it and that they're held responsible for their actions. And again, as Tiffany said, that this doesn't happen to any other family. So those are the facts that we know.
And just one last thing. Someone sent me a picture of what looked like him holding up some gang signs and he was smoking. And I have to be transparent because I have to put it in the story, and I want to give you all a chance to respond. I don't want later you to say, well, she didn't tell us and she stood right in our face. And I know you don't want to take questions, but I just feel like you have to know what we have to put in the story, and then we want to give you a chance to respond.
Well, we don't.
Well, I want to say that Cameron Jackson, he was a great kid. He came to the gym every day. I've never witnessed anything about those kind of affiliations or those kind of actions at all with him. I don't know if they want to say or however they want to spin the story. I've never seen that, never witnessed it. Cameron was a great kid. He did well in school. He came to the gym every day, and he was very driven.
Right. Recognize any of the kids in that video that police released yesterday?
Well, again, we're not taking any questions. Anything on the ongoing investigation will be addressed with the police if the family knows anything. And again, you know, Cameron's 15-year-old gun violence victim, and we would like justice for this family, and they would like to make sure that nothing like this happens to any other family. And that's what we know. He's 15 years old. His birthday was November the 6th. He just turned 15. He had a wonderful birthday celebration with his loved ones. His mom just wanted to share how loved he was by her husband, his dad, Jeree, his aunt, and all the rest of their family, his uncle, and his siblings, his sisters here. So we just act as, you know, be respectful of the family, everyone, and understand, you know, what they're going through, respect their privacy. She gave a statement, and that's really all we have to say.
Does she want to be referred to as Tiffany Smith or Tiffany Jackson?
It doesn't matter, and the reason why I say it doesn't matter is because what does matter is that we have children that are dying. And no matter what the name is, no matter what pictures you're talking about, it doesn't matter. We got children that are dying. We're losing our future. And any one of you could have been walking with your husbands, with your wives at Atlantic Station, and you could have caught a bullet in the back of your head. And so I get all of that. I get where your jobs, I get where you're coming from. But as a community, if we don't come together and get the conversation straight about the real issue that's going on, we're gonna lose a generation. This is not just about Cameron. I'm a millennial. Most of these children are millennial children. We're the largest generation right now. And so we all got to think about our future. It's going downhill with social media and everything that's going on. If we don't keep it straight to the problem, what my name is, his name, that doesn't matter. And I get that it's important, but what matters is we have children out here that are carrying guns. We have children out here that are shooting. And, you know, I'm not blaming anybody. This is our problem. And so what I'm here for is that we can come together as a community, because it doesn't just affect me, it affects us all. It affects all of us. And so, like I said, I've been on this journey for a long time. And I have a plan. And I hate that my child had to be the one to have me. I just hate that my child had to be the one.
Okay, thank you. That's all. That's all we said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guilty. That is the plea of 3 of the 6 defendants arrested in a deadly shooting near Atlantic Station last November. 12-year-old Zyion Charles and 15-year-old Cameron Jackson were both killed during the shooting that happened near the 17th Street Bridge. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates joining us now. She was in court. So, Bobeth, you spoke with their parents after. What are they saying tonight?
That's right, Joe. I did speak to both parents of those victims, and they had a similar message, saying that this situation drastically changed the lives of all involved. But Cameron Jackson's mom took it a step further. She got on the stand, and while looking into the eyes of that suspect who likely pulled the trigger, killing her son, she had a message of grace. Take a listen.
And I forgive you.
It was a heartfelt message for Demetrius Hill, one of the 6 people charged in connection with the shooting near Atlantic Station that claimed the life of 12-year-old Zyion Charles and 15-year-old Cameron Jackson.
You understand that you'd be entering the plea of guilty under counts 1 through 6, which are violations of the Criminal Street Gang Act, each of which is punishable by up to 20 years, as well as 2 counts of the voluntary manslaughter which also is punishable by up to 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Hill's plea resulted in a 40-year sentence, with him serving 30 years behind bars and the remaining on probation. Antonio Jackson and Tony Wilson also took plea deals Thursday for their role in the shooting. Jackson agreed to a 20-year sentence, 10 of which he'll serve behind bars for 2 counts of violating the Street Gang Act. The other 10 will be on probation. Wilson also pled guilty to 2 counts of violating the Street Gang Act, as well as 2 counts of voluntary manslaughter, for a total sentence of 40 years, 20 of which he'll serve behind bars and the other 20 on probation.
A lot of emotions. I don't know how to feel. One day I feel like I'm okay, the next day I'm not.
Zyion Charles is the mother of Zyion, one of the children killed when the shots rang out on the 17th Street Bridge as hundreds of children were kicked off Atlantic Station property for violating the city's curfew.
They're all kids. Everybody took a loss. Even mine hit harder, but everybody took a loss.
Sentiments echoed by Cameron's mom, Tiffany Smith.
When you sit in court and you see the age and you see they're just babies, it's hard. Antonio Jackson's mom came to me and said she was sorry for my loss, and it really got me. Like, for all the moms, it's a loss.
Now, one of the other suspects entered a guilty plea last month, and the 2 remaining suspects are also expected to enter a guilty plea. Their court date is scheduled for December the 15th. Of course, we'll update you on what they actually do. Sending it back to you guys.
So, Beth, an awful situation all around.